Hi, this is Mrs. Brode, and today we're going to talk about the surface area of prisms again, but we are going to use a formula this time instead of having to look at the net. So the first thing we want to do is, as a review, is to shade the bases and mark the height. So let's look at this triangular prism. Well, in a triangular prism, the bases have to be the two triangles. So that means that the height is what connects the two triangles together. So this would be the height. Okay. In a cube, it doesn't really matter. I could pick either pair of sides that are parallel, but I'm going to pick the top and the bottom, which means that the height would be what connects the top and the bottom to each other. So just a reminder that a base is a face of a three-dimensional figure by which the figure is measured and classified. And for a prism, they have to be parallel and congruent, which means across from each other and exactly the same. So, a couple definitions here. The first one is total surface area. And it's just like it says, it's the total of all the outside area. So it's the sum of all faces of a figure. Now we have the star formula chart that we get to use on all of our tests and of course the star test. And if we look for, we're going to look for surface area, and then we're going to look for prism, and you're going to see a couple things, total, and then you're also going to see lateral, which we'll get to later. So the total surface area of all prisms is this formula right here. Surface area equals pH plus 2b. So what we need to know is what these letters mean. That capital P means perimeter of the base. Not the perimeter of the whole thing, but the perimeter of the base. The height, or the H, is the distance between the bases. So it's what connects the two bases together. And the big B, we should remember from our volume unit, is the area of the base. So we've got the perimeter of the base and the area of the base. So understanding which one the base is going to be very important. So let's review real quickly. How do you find the perimeter of any figure? All you would do is add all the sides together. So why do we use 2b in the total surface area formula? Well, because we have two bases, so we need to include both. So once we find the perimeter of one base, or the area of one base, we will multiply that by 2, and then we have the area of both bases. All right, so let's look at the first problem. Find the total. Now this is going to be important once we learn about the other type of surface area that you're reading what you're looking for. Shade the bases and mark the height. In this case, I'm going to choose the left and right as the bases, which means that this piece would be my height. So the first thing we want to do is name the shape. And since the bases are rectangular, we would call this a rectangular prism. The next part is circle. What am I asking for? This, make sure you go back and read the question. And it does say we are looking for total. So then it says, what is the formula for total? And we just learned that it's SA equals P times H plus 2B. So notice I'm going to give you work areas so that we're going to do this in little pieces. So the work area for the perimeter of the base, we labeled this as our base. So if I were to look at this on, straight on, I would see it has a height of 5 and a width of 3. But don't forget, it's got another 5 and another 3. And what we would do for perimeter is add all of those together. So 5 plus 3 plus 3. Or you can do 2 times 5 plus 2 times 3. And you can see that we're going to get that the distance around that base is 16 feet. So we'll use that in a little while. The next thing we want to do is formula for the area of the base. Well, this is a rectangular base, so we would do length times width or base times height. And we can see that it's 5 times 3 for the area of the base. So we'd get the area of the base is 15 feet squared because area is always squared. Now we're going to plug it in to P times H. So 16 was my P. Remember that the H is the height that connects the two. That's what we haven't used so far. So that is 8 plus 2 times the big B that we found, which we found it to be 15. And now we can go to our calculator and plug that all in. And when we plug that all in, we can see that we get 158 feet squared. And that's our final answer. Remember, in volume, we cubed it 3-dimensional. In area, we always square it. So for number 2, again, we want total. Again, we want to shade the bases, which have to be the triangles. Which, if those are our bases, then this piece that connects it must be the height. So we're going to call this one a triangular prism because of the bases. And we're going to circle that we're looking for total because that's what it tells us in the problem. And we're going to write that formula one more time. So it asks for the perimeter of this base. So we know it's 4 plus 3, but what we don't know is this other side. So this goes back to the Pythagorean theorem. We have to figure out what that other side is. So remember, this is a right triangle. So we would do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and c squared is always, c is always directly across from the right angle. So we know that 3 and 4 are our a and b. Doesn't matter which order. So 4 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So we get 16 plus 9 equals c squared, which is 25 equals c squared. That's not our answer. We're looking for just c. So we take the square root, and that other side length is 5. So now we know that we can add 4 plus 3 plus 5 and get that our perimeter is 12 centimeters. So the next thing we need to find is the area of the base. Well, it's a triangle. So if you remember, a triangle is 1/2 base times height. That is little b. That's base times height. So it's 1/2 3 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. 1/2 of that is 6 centimeters squared. Now we've got everything we need. Plug it in to this. P was 12. The height of the whole object we labeled early on as 7 plus 2 times what we found to be big B, which was 6. And we're going to plug all that in our calculator, and we should get 96 centimeters squared. All right, so that was all about total surface area. Now we're going to talk about lateral surface area. So lateral surface area, let's go ahead and define it, is the sum of the areas of all faces not including the bases. Sorry, all faces, not all bases. Not including the bases. So notice that it's just SA equals PH. We don't have that extra piece of plus 2b because we don't want to include the bases. So that is just like if you were thinking about a room, lateral would be just the 4 walls of that room. Again, big P is perimeter of the base. We would still need to find that because that's actually, when it wraps around, that actually is what makes the length for us. So list 2 examples, tons and tons of examples. A couple that I came up with is painting the walls of a room. Lateral surface area could also be like, we'll say a grocery bag, like a paper sack. Let's say paper sack. A paper sack without the bottom. Just the walls of the paper sack. So should be a little easier because we don't have to do as much work. So it does say find the lateral surface area, mark the bases. Let's make this, it looks like a cube because they only gave us 1 number. So we're going to make the top and bottom our bases, and this will be our height. So all the sides are the same, so we're going to call this one a cube. A cube is still a prism. Again, total or lateral, look back at the problem, and it's lateral. So we're going to use the equation just PH. So what is the perimeter of the base? Well, if it's a cube, all sides are going to be 8. So I could add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, or I could just do 4 times 8 because they're all the same. Either way, I'm going to get 32 meters. What about the work area for the B? Do I need that? No. So I get to mark that piece out because I don't need to find the area of the bases because this is only lateral. So I'm going to plug in my numbers. Big P times H, 32 times 8. And I am going to get 256, and this is area, so it'd be meters squared. And that's it. All right, last one, find the lateral surface area. Shade the bases. Well, the bases have to be the triangles. Label the height. The height has to be what connects the triangles. And name it. Well, it's got triangular bases, so this must be a triangular prism. I want to go back and read my problem where it says lateral, so I'm going to circle lateral, which means I would look at my formula chart and write the correct formula. And now I want to do the perimeter of this base. Again, just like in a previous problem, I am missing a side length, and it's a right triangle, so I have to use Pythagorean theorem to find that. Remember that I'm looking for C, so I can plug it into a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and B, 5 and 12, doesn't matter which one's which because they're both legs. This is way back in the first semester. I get 25 plus 144 equals c squared. I'm going to get 169 equals c squared, but remember I only want c, which is 13. So now I know my missing side length. I can add 5 plus 12 plus 13. So I had to do a little bit of extra work there. But I can see that my perimeter of the base is 30, and I get to mark out the big B. So my big P was 30. My height, if I look back, is what connected it, and I said that that was 3. I multiply those together, and I get 90 centimeters squared. So remember to be careful to look for if you want total surface area or if you're looking for only the sides, lateral surface area, when you're solving the problem. But we have specifically designed these questions so that you can work it piece by piece and put it together in your formula. All right, that's it for today.